Hi, everybody. This is the lesson on Japan that I'm going to do today, which is Wednesday, December 9th, with those who joined the Zoom meeting later this morning and this afternoon. And if you weren't able to participate, if you watch this, this will help you with your Country of the Week scavenger hunt. So what comes to your mind when you think of Japan? So when I think of Japan, I think of the architecture of some of the homes and the buildings. I think of cherry blossoms. Okay. I think of, and if we'll look at some of the pictures here, I think a lot of the technology that we have and even vehicles. Okay. A lot of our cars are actually Japanese made. So those are just some of the things that I think of when I think of Japan. And you can see here, whenever I typed in Japan pictures, these are things that came up. I think of Tokyo, and I even think of World War II and the dropping of the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So there's a lot of things that come to my mind when I think of Japan. We're going to watch a real quick video, these 13 facts on the country of Japan.
13 Facts about Japan. 127 million people live in Japan. 37 million live in the Tokyo metropolitan area. 42 million are 60 years of age or older. Japan consists of 6,852 islands. (1,500) earthquakes are recorded every year. 110 active volcanoes are located in Japan. 2,200 hours of studying are needed to gain proficiency in Japanese. Four writing systems are used in daily Japanese life. Japan is the world's third largest economy. Of Japan's exports, 23% are automotive. 38% are electronics. Of the Japanese, 51.8% are Shintoists or not religious. 34.9% are Buddhists. If you like this video and want to support this channel, please click here to subscribe. If you want to see more, click here.
Okay, so some interesting facts that we learned about Japan. We're going to take a look at 4 different places in Japan. So this is, I'll be honest, don't know exactly which city this is or any of the locations of this lesson, but it's just nice to look around and nice to see what a Japanese city looks like. So if we're looking around, we can see, hopefully these people are okay with their faces being, for us viewing them. But if you look, like, it's very, very crowded. Okay, and obviously this picture was taken over a year ago, because if it was today, hopefully there would be social distancing and masks. But you can look around, you can see just kind of how some of even the traffic signs are different. You can look at, if you look in the background, what's one interesting thing about Japan is, and countries that have different letters in their writing systems, is they often have the English translation listed on signs and on billboards and different things. Okay, so you can look, there's a mixture of English and a mixture um, of Japanese. Look right there, even there's a Lexus on the other side. That is a Prius. Okay, so Toyota, Lexus, Hyundai, Honda, those are all Japanese automobile companies. Nissan too is Japanese. So again, a lot of the cars that we ride around and drive here actually originated from Japan. And in the background, you can see up there Starbucks coffee. So they do have some American companies as well. The next one, this looks like some kind of tourist spot, but the main thing is here to look at the architecture. Okay, this would look very foreign to us. Okay, we don't have this type of architecture here, and how even like the shape of the roofs, it's kind of curved, and there's a lot of curves and in these buildings here. But yeah, it's most likely some type of tourist spot. We'll see if anybody else in the Zoom meeting later can maybe come up with a better uh, description for this place than I can. Okay, this is a nice scenic picture. So in the background, that is a snow-covered mountain. You can look at the trees and look at building in the background. Okay, and we have one more. There's another nice scenic area. So part of this one, aside from the building in the background and the water and the nature, is if you look at some of these people here, you look at their clothing and see maybe um, it's for a religious reason they're wearing these things. Um, I'm not sure, but it does look like there are also most likely some students. It looks like these are students in the background. So think about here, unless you most likely go to a private school or a Catholic school, we don't require uniforms. Okay, but it looks like in Japan, the males are all wearing the same thing as well, the females as well. So when we're thinking about comparing and contrasting our countries, that would be a difference. Okay, their education, their students have to wear a specific um, type of clothing. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the information about Japan. If you look on the left here, also something that I think of when I think of Japan is that it is kind of like the United Kingdom, or Hawaii is not a country, but Hawaii, um, Taiwan, these countries or states that are more like island countries. So if you look at it, Japan really is a country made up of several islands. Okay, unlike the United States, where most of the United States is continuous, it's one big block of land. Japan has several different blocks of land. Okay, tiny ones. So you can see here, you can look on the map where it says Tokyo, and that is in large bold print. So that means that Tokyo is uh, is the capital of Japan. Let me move this out of the way. Actually, I can get rid of the webcam for right now, so it's not in the way of anything. On the right here, you'll see it's an island country. Okay, it's in East Asia. So Asia is the largest continent on the planet. It's on the eastern side. Um, it's actually one of the most eastern, or one of the most easternmost countries, if I'm saying that correctly. And it's located in the Pacific Ocean. So the North Pacific Ocean we see on the map here. It lies, there are 3 seas around it. Sea of Japan, East China, Korea, and Russia. Okay, actually four seas. And then Sea of Okhotsk, and to the south is Taiwan. So the language of Japan is Japanese, so that's pretty easy for us to remember. Okay, here's the national anthem. I'll just play a few seconds of it. Now we're going to look major religions. So if you remember from the video of the 13 facts on Japan, um, said that over actually a majority, over 50% of the country is non-religious. Okay, so they don't observe any religion. And then after that, it's a mixture of Christianity, Buddhism, and then even some other very minor, like religions that are practiced by a small amount of people. Okay, so the population, it's actually a very well populated country. So 127 million people. And you think about it, that's about a third of the United States. The United States has 330, probably 350 million people now. We'll find out when the census comes out. But yeah, that's about a third of the United States. However, it's much, 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 much smaller than the United States. So if you think about how many people that is, that would mean that um, Japan is very densely populated, which means there's a lot of people within a small amount of area. Their currency, or the money they use, is the yen. So 2,000 yen, let's see. If you ever want to know currency, if you just type in the amount, it's a 2,000 yen equals almost $20. Okay, so that is the currency they use. It's the world's second largest developed economy. So for a small country, they produce a lot of exports and things that they sell to the rest of the world, like cars and technology. And then it's the third largest automobile manufacturing country. I would imagine the United States is probably the first, and then I'm not sure the second. And then the largest electronics goods industry. So if you have a computer, which obviously you do because you're watching this, or you have a phone, or you have uh, a gaming console like an Xbox or PlayStation, okay, these all most likely come from Japan or originated from Japan. Culture. So the culture in Japan is kind of diverse because it a lot of the things that Japanese take part in their practices is a mixture of influences from Asia, Europe, and even North America. Calligraphy is a traditional art form. So if you ever see art that looks like this, it's called calligraphy. Japanese gardens are as important as buildings architecture and are considered artwork. So I've never been to Japan, but from what I've heard is there are a lot of gardens and a lot of just pretty beautiful plant life that again it's considered art. Okay, so hopefully that was you learned at least a few things that you did not know about Japan from that. And this one, what is the most interesting fact that you learned about Japan? And for me, it would be that the Japanese have four forms of writing, and that's something I actually would like to learn more about. So who knows? Later today, I may do some research on that. So they have four forms of writing. So what I'd like to know is what is each? Why do they have the four forms of writing, and then what is each one used for? Okay, and this, whenever we do the activity, the participation activity, we're going to be labeling a Venn diagram, and they're going to list at least two or three differences and similarities for each country. So I had mentioned the clothing or the uniforms for education. You can talk about the difference in currency. You can talk about the difference in religion. Okay, we're predominantly Christian country, whereas Japan is um, predominantly non-religious. Okay, that's something you can talk about. Something you'll learn later when you do the scavenger hunt and read the article is they actually have an emperor in Japan. Okay, and a prime minister, I believe. Whereas we have a president, so we have our governments are a little different in terms of our leaders. And then similarities. So English is spoken. I believe it is taught too in schools. So that could be a similarity. Um, Again, there are many similarities and differences between our countries. Okay, so thank you for watching, and hopefully this was informative and this helped you with your scavenger hunt.